What the heck is FITASC? We went to Game Unlimited in Hudson, Wisconsin to figure that out for the World FITASC Championship. Now it's my turn to participate, so we're here at Hunts Point for the Minnesota State Sporting Clay Shoot, where I'm gonna try out FITASC. Will it be a disaster? Will I be golden? We shall see. You ready? Let's go. Jordan drove really slow on the way up here. Now we're running late to get to our first parkour. If you're not there on time, you get 0. So we better put it down. If you're unfamiliar with FITASC, you might be wondering, what in the world is a parkour? A parkour is essentially a series of different shooting stations that utilize the same trap machines. This old-style FITASC competition consisted of 100 targets divided between 4 parkours. One thing I can tell you, almost being late to the first parkour did not help my nerves.
Yell at me if I do anything wrong. This is my maiden voyage.
Oh, yours too?
Yep.
Oh.
It's right there, right there.
I'm not gonna lie, I had some nerves about me going into that first peg.
Each parkour had 3 different shooting pegs. A peg, in old-style FITASC, is a different shooting location providing unique target presentations while utilizing the same set of traps throughout the parkour. With just 1 peg down, I was still feeling equally nervous and excited to compete in FITASC.
We showed up a little bit late. We rushed here, got here in the nick of time. And it's all new to me. Shooting's not new, but walking up to a peg, seeing all the targets, coming up with a plan, figuring out how I'm gonna approach the targets. And so I dropped a couple birds on that first peg when we got to the report pairs, but feeling pretty good overall, and I'm having fun.
My biggest takeaway from the first parkour was that experienced shooters always had a plan for each target presentation.
My original plan is shoot bird. My contingency plan is shoot again.
Shoot again. That's a good plan.
One of those experienced shooters was a young man named Andrew.
I've known this guy since he was a young kid, but I've never had the opportunity to shoot with him. Pretty accomplished young shooter, so it's fun to be out here and get schooled by young kids that are more experienced, obviously, than I am, because it's my first time.
Having Andrew on our squad was awesome. It was nice having an extra set of eyes looking at how I could approach and break targets better. As a collegiate shooter, Andy excels in just about every discipline.
Trap, doubles, trap, skeet, doubles, skeet, sporting, super sporting.
That's awesome. It almost makes me want to go back to college.
Yeah, you should.
That wasn't a thing when I was going through college many moons ago.
Mm-hmm. I get that a lot.
Just verify that you believe that was the score.
Should have been higher, shouldn't it? Seems like it should have been higher.
After shooting 21 out of 25 at the first parkour, the nerves tamed down a bit, and I was understanding more of what I needed to do to see continued success at the upcoming parkours.
The big thing with being new to this is just coming up with a plan, like talking with Andy. He's got a full plan in his head how he's going to approach targets, where he sees the blur, where he sees the hard focus, where he's going to break it. And I haven't done this enough to really come in and diagnose and make up a plan. And I'm too social. I talk too much. I gotta just focus. Serious. I'm serious. I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to break targets, which is fun. So let's have some fun.
FITASC is a lot of fun, but for most participants, it's also a very serious and prestigious competition with a number of rules and etiquette expectations.
You can't bring it up early, and you can't bring it up when you're seeing the birds. You put your hand up, you can swing your body around all you want, but obviously you can't dry mount your gun on birds.
A few of the FITASC rules include wearing a collared shirt, not using shot shells that exceed 1 ounce, and not mounting before you see the bird. Every parkour has a referee to enforce the rules and keep track of score.
I gotta see the bird with pieces fall off it though.
But if we're new, we only have to be close, right?
The second parkour presented some challenging targets with a lot of speed that often came flying out from behind cover. Unfortunately, this was my worst parkour, shooting a 19 out of 25. However, the targets weren't the only thing presenting a challenge at this parkour.
Turns out I don't shoot better when my gun's wet and there's rain on my glasses. How about you?
Oh, me neither.
Just as we were about to finish up the final peg, the rain came, wind blew, and the lightning caused a pause on all shooting. On a positive note,
This gave me an opportunity to get some feedback from Andy and chat with the rest of our squad.
The only thing that I would really do different is really watch where you're holding your gun for your hold points. There's a couple times where you're a little too far out and didn't quite have a connection with the bird.
Yep.
Other than that, everything was solid.
When I'm sitting back watching, I feel like I know everything going on. Then all of a sudden I get up there and it's like the D bird. I'm like, oh yeah, where's that coming? Where's that coming? Where should my gun be? And I'm having to think a lot through the process.
Yeah.
I think if I did this a few times, it became a little bit more natural.
Oh yeah, with more practice, it just becomes more natural.
For my first time competing in FITASC, I went out on a limb and picked up a Beretta 694 Pro Sporting with the TSK stock. We planned on reviewing this 694 and thought, what a better way to get a feel for this sporting shotgun than using it in a competition. One thing we've learned attending events like this is that the Krieghoff K80 is widely popular among the best shooters. In fact, our buddy Andy was shooting a K80 Parkour. How do you like it?
I love it. I love the triggers. I love the balance. The Parkours is supposed to be their light gun, but it's still about 8.5 pounds.
Okay.
And all the weight's in between your hands where it's supposed to be.
Other shotguns in our squad were a Kohler Skeet, Benelli Super Sport, Caesar Guerini Invictus 2, and a Browning 725 Sporting. What you won't see while shooting FITASC is a pump shotgun. Yep, that's just another rule. So we're getting back to it after what, about an hour rain delay. Soaked, I'm cold, but we're back shooting, so here we go. With the lightning gone, we were able to continue shooting. I had to channel my exhibition shooting instincts at some of these targets as I quickly forgot where some of the birds were coming from. Again, it's important to make a plan. The cold rain had chilled me to the bones, and it was definitely hindering my target focus. I don't remember what C does. Oh. Lucky it was an easy one. Somehow I hit them all.
Did you?
I didn't even know where half of them were coming from. I'm better that way. Keep me guessing. I actually ended up shooting my best round at Parkour 3. Thank you. Even though I was cold, the rain break gave me an opportunity to reset and take a fresh approach when we resumed. So learning lots today, bringing food, probably one of the biggest one. Extra gear, you know, in case you get a downpour, you're not prepared and it's cold. No more excuses, shooting's going pretty well. That last Parkour, I got a 22. Let's go into the last one, see how we can do. It's dried out, it's no longer raining. It's kind of nice. Very hungry, very ready to be done. But let's finish strong, or at least try to. Oh. Another 21. Man, just got to pick up that consistency a little bit more. Be right there. I'll be shooting with Andy in no time. As we rounded out the last Parkour, I had a pretty good idea of what I needed to work on and consider for the next time I shoot FITASC. Number one, be prepared and on time. That should go without saying. It would have been nice to have a little bit more warm gear out there. It's August, I didn't expect to be cold, but once that rain came and the winds picked up, it was tough. I was cold out there. Number two, pay attention to how the targets are being thrown and remember it. That's one thing I really messed up on. I'd watch it, you know, then I'd get chatting with people, then it's my turn to get up there and I'd see the B machine and I'd go, oh, which way is B machine throwing now again? Just not knowing how to mentally process the information correctly and develop a game plan ahead of time. A big part of that is you want to reduce the amount of movement needed for the shot. You want to have the right hold points, the right focal points. Understand when you look at a target, where the best point to break it is. I ended up shooting an 83. There were some birds that I shouldn't have dropped. I'm fairly happy with it. Andy, very accomplished shooter, very good shooter, shot an 86. And of course, even he had targets that he wished he would have also not let go. But the cool thing about FITASC and the sporting disciplines, pretty much everyone misses. Even Andy, who was a phenomenal shot, ended up with an 86. The point is this: don't let your fear of failure get in the way of trying something new. Yes, shooting FITASC for the first time was a blast, but the bigger success was getting out of my comfort zone, humbling myself a little bit, and stepping into something I had never done before. So get out there, try something new, and remember to live target focused.